See, this is something about next year, too. And I'm thinking this. And look, I always tell you guys, I read about it. I know a little bit about it. By no means am I qualified to work in an NFL front office or anything like that. So take it with a little bit of a grain of salt, I guess. But at the same time, the reason that I study into this is because these moves can tell you what's coming down the road in the future. And that's why. And so when we look at next year and we talk about it, and I tell you as I sit now, and again, I don't know exactly what contracts from this free agency have officially processed. But as I sit with that $62 million in cap space for next year, you got to remember too, Taylor Decker's on the books for $19 million next year. At 32, 33.
Does he fall into what we just saw with
if
local
you cut
guy
him,
Taylor Lewan in Tennessee? Where are these bigger, or is it one of these things that you're going to see him re-sign? The age says that could be one of your expendable guys.
And that's all I'm saying is be prepared, right? Be prepared that's out there on the table where, Decker comes into that situation next year where he's an $11 million cap savings if you move on. You see what I'm saying? This is why, I remember when we did the bit about the draft and I just floated Skoronski out there and people lost their mind. Remember that?
No, I don't think they lost their mind. I think he brought up a great point.
Spenmo, they lost their mind.
Yeah, people were upset.
People were upset.
Oh.
Know where that came from.
Sorry, I wasn't upset.
Yeah. But Spenmo, this is where that came from. That next year, Taylor Decker's in a spot where if you move on, you can save $11 million in cap space and plug in a Skoronski. You know what I'm saying? If you don't love Jalen Carter, Skoronski's a guy that could be in play depending on which direction they want to go. And it's got nothing to do with the draft and Skoronski. It's got everything to do with how do you see this franchise working in the future? Mm-hmm. What do you want to do from a cap perspective? Because, again, when you look at next year, and I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves here, but those moves are set up now. Those types of moves are set up by the draft you have, etc. What you do in free agency. And as far as this team goes, your cap hits next year, going into next year. Goff is at 31.5, which we know we're cool with as it sits. Taylor Decker's your second biggest hit at $19 million. Tracy Walker's your third biggest hit at $12.3. Frank Ragnow Walker's 12.8. Ragnow's 12.8. Cam Sutton's 12.6. Vitai's 12.4. Who's still a candidate to be restructured. And remember this, too. When I give you that cap number, Jeff Okudah's got a cap hold on there in his fifth-year option at $11 million and change. These are the decisions that are out there, which tells me that the cornerback is still very much in place, Benmo.
Mm-hmm.